Hey everybody, and welcome to MAWS Talks Wrestling, Episode 5. I am your co-host, Lunakage,
What's up, everyone? It's Glenburg. How you doing?
and what an interesting week in wrestling it's been,
Indeed.
with numerous dirt sheets, I guess you could say, uh, mentioning that there's been numerous rewrites to the WrestleMania plans due to the shitstorm and Punk leaving. The
Pipe
the
bomb.
whole oh man, the whole shape of the industry is starting to not industry, that's stupid. The whole shape of WWE is looking very weird, at least as far as Raws go. I still don't think that we're going to see anything other than Randy Orton versus Batista at fucking WrestleMania
Yeah,
2020.
it looks like they're still trying to get damage control to try to find the next best thing.
It just seems like they're trying to do um, they're just trying to satiate the fans
Hmm.
by pushing Bryan on Raw, but they're just gonna keep fucking him over when it comes to pay-per-view placement and fucking and come on, like who really believes that Daniel Bryan's gonna win at the Elimination Chamber?
Right. Notice how they teased him being the new face,
Yeah,
being over Orton and stuff. Yeah.
like that. It's all kind of a facade. I don't believe it. Will it be a good match? Probably. I mean, for one, it's got fucking Daniel Bryan in there, so he's not going to be bad. He's got Cesaro in there. Cesaro's going to be good. Christian, he ranges from mediocre to good. So like, you get him in there with a bunch of other dudes, unless he's just cannon fodder to be the first guy to be eliminated. I'm pretty sure he's going to be good. Orton, he's okay in small doses. Like his match yesterday, not yesterday, his match Monday was good, and so that
Yo,
we know he can work. It's just if he doesn't care, he's not going to work very well. Cena, he's Cena,
yeah.
and who am I missing?
You're missing Sheamus, the returning
Oh,
Sheamus, Celtic Warrior.
oh, he's just going to hit people.
He's gonna bro kick a few people,
Yeah,
do some brawler moves.
yeah. Maybe hit one of his 35 signatures.
Right. The match, it does look like it'll be good, but of course it'll probably come down to Bryan, Orton, Cena, and all them type of guys. But yeah, I don't see Christian staying around. Cesaro might look really good in the match.
Yeah,
They haven't given him too
I'm
much.
still
Yeah.
I'm still kind of expecting either Cesaro or Christian to be the first guy eliminated, just by the fact that Cesaro is not a main eventer. Not that he doesn't have potential, because I love the guy, but he's not a main eventer yet. So he's just like the Kofi Kingston or the Dolph Ziggler that's in one of the elimination chambers with like fucking a bunch of the top guys. And Christian, you can't really call him a main eventer either. He was world champ for a couple days, but
He's like upper mid card, it seems.
yeah. So either of those two guys will probably get eliminated first, because if it's not those two, then who?
Right, because it's like an all-star, we have to be the last guys in the chamber
Yeah.
to have a match.
I mean, if it comes down to anybody, like if the final two is not Bryan and Orton, like they already fucked up. Because we know Orton's going to win. If he doesn't, I'll be fucking surprised no matter who no matter who wins it.
Now,
But if it doesn't come down to Orton and Bryan, and then somebody manages to interfere and like so that Bryan doesn't lose clean, keep him strong. But I don't know. I have nothing but low expectations right now. Hopefully that changes, but
now, what if they did a swerve? Like, this is just some theoretically speaking. What if they like did have Bryan win it at Chamber, so then and they turn it into like a triple threat match at WrestleMania, so Orton gets his rematch Bryan defends and Batista has to fight.
I mean, for me, in a perfect world, Bryan wins it at WrestleMania. Like,
Yeah,
winning it at Elimination Chamber isn't going to be quite as special. Like, it'd be cool, like, no matter how he gets the belt, it'd be cool. But
I just
if, what?
I was just gonna say I'm just trying to figure out a way how they're just gonna throw Bryan in WrestleMania
I
if he
mean,
loses at the Chamber, you know?
if he loses at the Chamber, if it happens by some kind of foul play, like someone sneaks in, like Shawn Michaels did that one year, and
Yeah,
screws Bryan over, then he could make a case. But that would only work if he was part of the final two, you know.
right.
That happens, he could say that he's pissed off and he deserves to get his rematch because he didn't lose. Like, fucking somebody fucked him over, and then Batista would be like, "Hey, I get that main event. I came in. I beat people,
I can see
and
him.
I am the guy."
I can see him pointing his thumb to himself as he's saying all that.
Yeah, and then fucking, and then Orton comes out and says, "I don't want to fight either of you guys because I'm a bitch heel that WWE always puts forward because you can't have strong heels." And then Triple H comes out and he's like, "I am the game." And then Undertaker comes out and says, "I am the best with the streak in the WrestleMania." And then CM Punk comes out and then he's like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" But basically, the biggest thing that I could possibly foresee happening, because apparently the current plan is to have Triple H face Daniel Bryan
Yeah, I've heard
at
that too.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking, which won't happen, but what would make me personally happy is if, in order, like Triple H is like, "You know what, you make a good point. You were screwed out of the title, and you do deserve that title match at WrestleMania." And then, like, they get to kind of like, this thing where Triple H is pissed at him for whatever reason. Maybe Daniel Bryan starts yelling because he's like, "It's all your fault. You're a bitch. Your wife sucks. Go and CM Punk on him and shit."
Yeah.
So he gets pissed off and he's like, "You know what? You want your title match at WrestleMania? You got it. If you could beat me at WrestleMania first."
Right, I can.
So Bryan has, so like, that would be a good way to be all like, Bryan, one, he's got to beat Triple H, who, since Triple H has his mouthpiece in Creative's ear, Triple H is the final boss of WWE, so he's literally almost as impossible to beat as Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's like number 2. Like, it's impossible to beat Taker at WrestleMania, and it's almost impossible to beat Triple H ever. Like, that's kayfabe.
And short hair Triple H too.
Yeah, that's kayfabe. I'm not saying like real talk, but that's kayfabe. In Triple H's mind, that's where he is. So he's like, "Yeah, this way you won't beat me, and even if you do, you just got done facing me. So why the hell would you win in the triple threat later on in the night?"
Yeah, make him run the gauntlet.
Right. So it'd make it even more ridiculous if he beats Triple H, and then he goes on to beat fucking, to win the triple threat. But again, that's not going to happen. If it does, it'd be ridiculous, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we haven't had that type of hype WrestleMania moment in a while, outside of, okay, we know he's going to defend against him in the main event. We have an idea who's going to win.
Yeah.
But, like, that'd be cool. Run a gauntlet and still get the title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember, when was the last time, because I know WrestleMania 20 had a triple threat in the main event.
Yeah.
When was the last time that there was more than one-on-one in the main event at WrestleMania before that? I mean, after that. Because I do know since then there has been triple threats for the titles, one of the titles.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were the main event or not.
It may have been the World Heavyweight Championship.
And, like, even if they were the main event, which one of those involved the Royal Rumble winner, Because there were 2 world titles at the time.
Right. That's something probably have to research.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, on the one hand, I don't like the idea of a triple threat for a title at WrestleMania because, but
It's like a spot contest,
yeah,
who's gonna dive to hit the other two guys,
yeah.
who's gonna do
Like,
shit.
I do appreciate one-on-ones a lot more, but Randy Orton versus Batista?
Man,
Oh,
that
no.
that match just yells BS. Triple H comes out, start clapping and stuff, sits in a throne chair. Yeah. There's something else I did want to mention though. So when's Lesnar gonna get his title shot?
I don't know. He, basically, what it boils down to is that they ran out of Brock Lesnar shows, basically.
Oh, really?
He can only work a certain number, and by work I mean like work a match a certain number of days of the year, and they ran out. Like, his next one is at WrestleMania. That's when it resets. So if he gets his title match, it's probably going to be after WrestleMania sometime.
Right.
And like, what I think they're probably doing is the actual plan right now is probably Batista beats Orton in Elimination Chamber. I mean, not Chamber. WrestleMania. See, this is what I think about WrestleMania right now. Batista wins at WrestleMania, and then after feuding with Orton for a while, he eventually feuds with Lesnar for the title. Whether or not he wins is to be seen, but that's what I think is probably going to go down. Because, like, it's going to be another... It's like, oh, man, we got this really fucking big buff dude facing this other really fucking big buff dude for the biggest fucking really big buff title of them all.
2 belts.
Yeah.
They might as well bring back the big undisputed title while they're at it.
That's probably why they don't have fucking Daniel Bryan win it. They're afraid that he can't carry all that gold at once.
All his adrenaline will probably carry it along.
Like, fucking, those 2 belts are huge, and I love them, but damn.
I wonder, does Randy Orton get a workout every time he does like a lateral arm race with the belts?
I mean, like, he's not a weak dude. Like,
I know.
But I do think it's interesting because watching his matches, I don't remember, at least off the top of my head, the last time I saw him lift somebody.
Right.
For anything. Like I haven't seen a suplex. Like, the last time I saw a suplex involving Bryan that I can remember was a superplex between him and Punk. Back when they were both champions.
Yeah.
But I think Punk was the one that did that one, so.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see that too often.
Yeah, like, he usually uses kicks and holds and stuff.
Yeah, like how a lot of times he'll open up a match with a kick.
Yeah, he's like, lock up. What the fuck? I'm 5'6".
Look how long my legs are. I can
Not
stop.
5'6". That's Rey Mysterio. What is he, like, 5'9"?
5'6".
He's pretty short, but, like, it doesn't matter because he's good.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, so while we were talking about that, yeah, it looks like there weren't any other WrestleMania triple threat matches beyond 20.
Main event, I don't know.
Yeah, in the main event, if you're talking main event, yeah.
Like, the first triple threat that comes to mind is for the... Wait, was it the world? Wait, you know what? I believe it was when Rey Mysterio won his world title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he went against... Did he go against Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But that wasn't in the main event. It was for a title with a Royal Rumble winner, but it wasn't in the main event.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So yeah, shifting gears. On Raw this past Monday, the Rhodes Brothers, of course, got their return match for the tag titles against, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, New Age Outlaws.
The Old Age Outlaws.
Old Age Outlaws. Still shooting that promo.
Right. Fucking Cody almost killed himself, man. Like,
Man, it looked like he broke his damn arm.
dude, it looked like he broke his everything.
Yeah, he's like, it hurts.
Like, both watching him and watching Kurt Angle do those cage top moonsaults just like makes me cringe because I'm not, I'm not 5, so
Right.
I know that mat's not a big ass mattress, It's fucking.
Gravity is your worst enemy when you do something like that.
There's padding and there is some give, but I mean, god damn, like that hurts. Just looking at it hurts.
Damn. And he was high up in the air too. Like
Yep.
it was funny. I saw the comment Lynn Storm put on Twitter, like talking about how people are getting pissed off at Road Dogg for not catching Cody. He was saying that if he would have caught Cody, he probably would have got kneed in his head and got killed or something.
Not necessarily. I believe at the house show where Cody did that same thing, Cesaro caught him, and Cesaro's fine. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's been plenty of instances where people have caught other wrestlers from doing diving moves off the top of a cage.
Yeah, I know.
It used to happen a lot in TNA.
Yeah. What was the guy named Primetime did like a Hurricane Rana? Well, that wasn't diving, but that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that was
Rana off a cage. That was hype.
The tightrope walk.
Yeah,
yeah. And obviously Jeff Hardy fucking does swantons off the cage all the time. But at the same time, he's got to take just a flat back bump. So and he's not jumping either. He's kind of leaning forward and then shooting himself off. But Cody, when he did his moonsault, and Kurt too, like they just leap, they're like, yeah, bitch, they're just jumping as high as they can. And the way that both of them landed, they landed on their side. So like, not only do you have your legs just kind of slapping against the mat, but you have your other leg slapping against your other leg.
Oh, yeah, that does hurt.
And then you're landing right on your shoulder. Like that's fucking, it's bad. Like, just to give you an idea, like a little demonstration, take your hand and then as hard as you can, slap the side of a dresser. Do that same thing, except chop it now. What hurts more? Like that's just what
Yeah, that's almost like when you don't pay attention and you walk into an object and it hurts more than if you would have known it was in front of you.
Kind of. I mean,
yeah,
it's a little different.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that impact hurts like hell, though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, it probably felt like forever too when he was up in the air. He's like, fuck.
He probably gave no fucks when he jumped. He like, you know what, YOLO. I
mean, damn. Like, if hopefully he's all right, because like Goldust versus Cody Rhodes is a match that a lot of people have been wanting at WrestleMania.
Man.
So if they can't make it, especially due to injury, that's fuck.
That could have been a potential.
That's unfortunate on a lot of levels.
Yeah, because you still need a good mid card if the main event isn't gonna be spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, I wonder how long the Outlaws are gonna hold on to the belts, or how long they're gonna be with WWE.
I don't think they're gonna hold on to the belts past WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive they're dropping it at WrestleMania, but I mean, WWE has done a lot of stupid things, so they probably, trying to guess right now is like just not a good idea, pretty much.
This reminds me of the reign when Shawn Michaels and Triple H did the PGDX, where they had the tag belts for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, then the tag belts didn't mean anything, and now they just kind of mean a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, WWE has just come crashing down, and I'm not one of those guys that says he's not going to watch it just because he doesn't get his way. I've always kind of just been that guy that didn't back in the day. But now since we're doing the show, it's like I have a reason to keep doing it.
It kind of makes you a little bit more obligated to know what's going on, or you have nothing to say.
Basically, as soon as, like, for an example, at Raw 1000, as soon as CM Punk turned heel, I was like, I know exactly where this is going. Didn't start watching again until I watched the Royal Rumble that year, and then CM Punk lost, and I was like, well, I knew where this was going. But I didn't start watching again until SummerSlam of this year. Wait, last year, obviously. This year's only been happening for like a month, so so literally it was like, it's like, oh, CM Punk's getting fucked, and then I stopped watching, not because I was like, oh, this sucks, I can't watch anymore, but just because I didn't have the motivation to keep watching it. And I started watching again at SummerSlam because, like, I heard, wait, what? Daniel Bryan's getting a title shot? He's in the main event against Cena? What's going on?
It's funny how that works, right?
Yeah, and then I saw the Yes movement starting. I was like, man, this is hype.
Oh yeah, the thing that overthrew on Fandango's.
So it was like, man, WWE is getting interesting again. And then just one by one, they just fucking start destroying your hopes and dreams. And it's kind of weird now, thinking that I've been watching again for like, 6-7 months straight now since that. And it's just been one downturn after another. And it's like, geez, what's going on? Like, do they really just don't want to give him a title shot or a title reign, rather?
It's because WWE is that company you love to hate.
I don't love to hate it, though. Like, I know a lot of those internet wrestling fans, I guess you could say, they have the most fun bitching about it. But if you remember, during our first 2, maybe 3 shows, we didn't really bitch about much at all. We just kind of were like, yeah, it's interesting. I can't wait to see what happens. Because we're thinking that it's going to be a Royal Rumble and a Mania payoff for Daniel Bryan. And it's like, man, it makes so much sense for this to happen. And then, like, just for just the last episode, this week's episode, was just like, man, what the fuck is going on? But, and I don't mean to cut you off, but on the positive side, with all the crazy bullshit that's been going on, these last couple of weeks have made it interesting as hell to be a wrestling fan.
Yes.
I will say that. As much as I don't like what's going on right now, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what the fuck are they going to do? Like, are they really just going to fuck it up? Like, how? I can't wait to understand what's going to happen. So, I don't know. Maybe that was intentional.
It's kind of funny. When I saw Cesaro qualify for the Elimination Chamber, I'm wondering if they're going to break kayfabe and actually let him wrestle like Ring of Honor style, where he actually will do a lot in that match, not just be the real American Cesaro, you know.
I'm sure he's going to do his fair share of stuff. I think, like, my personal opinion, I'm pretty sure that before Punk walked out, he probably would have had Cesaro's spot in the chamber.
Right.
Just so that he could get screwed over by Kane or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of interesting that... Oh, speaking of which, this is kind of a good segue into another topic here, but the main event of Raw this past Monday was Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton in a non-title match.
Right.
And Daniel Bryan, he won clean, but not before, like, thwarting a fucking interference, like, 3 times. Kane comes in, he's like, nope, fuck you, hits him with a drop kick. On the outside, Kane's about to plow his ass. He's like, nope, drop toe hold onto the fucking stairs. He gets back in, he's still looking at Kane. Randy Orton's about to hit the RKO. He's like, nope, fuck you, bitch. Hits the knee and wins. And it's like, wow, really?
Right.
That was like 2 kind of false finishes, because, like, you've seen it happen so many times. Fucking the interference doesn't have to fucking make contact. He's on the ropes. Suddenly the guy's an idiot, gets rolled up and then pinned. But this time it was like, nope, fuck you twice, I win. It was interesting. And
No.
right. It was also interesting because it was the first time that I can remember seeing a babyface work on a limb of the heel and not the other way around. Like, Daniel Bryan was just tearing up Orton's knee like the whole match.
Right, that is normally a heel thing.
Yeah.
Let me focus on your arm so I can do my finisher.
Yeah. And it was especially funny because, like, after he got done doing that, the second Orton hit his comeback, he started working on the shoulder. So he went right back to the status quo.
He's that true technical wrestler.
Yeah, he was like, hold on, let me do it. And also I noticed that after Orton finally hit his comeback, he wasn't really favoring the knee. So he wasn't really selling that knee injury like he should have. But all that considered, I thought that was a really good match. Like, I haven't enjoyed an Orton match in a long time.
Right.
And I enjoyed that match. And I especially enjoyed the fact that Bryan won the way he did. Like, I could have swore that he was going to lose. Like, I was enjoying the match knowing that he was going to lose. And then it was like, nope, Bryan wins clean, fuck you. And I was like, yeah! Oh, man, I feel like a mark. It was awesome.
Yeah, I felt like Bryan would probably win just from the recent turn of events behind the scenes and on television.
Yeah.
I had that feeling, so...
I kind of have a feeling that what they're going to do, because, Randy Orton's fighting every single one of his Elimination Chamber opponents before the Chamber. So I kind of have a feeling that he's going to lose clean to all of his opponents, including Cesaro, but then win the Chamber. Just
because, that's how they always hype a championship match. Make the challenger like Big Show punking out Brock Lesnar for weeks, and then just Brock Lesnar whips his ass. At Rumble,
yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the match is going to be good, and that's kind of what matters. But like, I just want a payoff. Like, what's happening now is TNA levels of weirdness. Like during Bobby Roode's long ass title reign back in the day. Like, everyone knew that he was supposed to lose that cage match with James Storm, because it was the perfect time to lose. Like, they were airing all these vignettes talking about how James Storm was like fucking ready or whatever. They were old friends. It was cage match at Lockdown, but then nope, he wins. It's like, where the fuck did they go from here? And then by the time he finally did lose the title, it was to Austin Aries in a match that had almost no build-up. And it was only to put over the gimmick of making Destination X essentially the Royal Rumble of TNA. And then they did it again the next year by having Chris Sabin win the championship, but then lose it like a week or two later.
It's kind of like, it's almost a play on how back then Intercontinental Championship will put you towards the WWE Championships, back then. Yeah,
I mean, back then being Intercontinental Champion meant something.
Exactly, that's my point. Yeah.
Hopefully now it will again, because like it's going to be the second title again, but I guess we'll have to see. But back to Elimination Chamber here. I don't know. I'm hoping we get a payoff eventually, and hopefully sooner than later, but I don't know. It's so hard to be optimistic when the last couple of weeks have happened.
And WWE, they have to worry about a lot of stuff. Like, they kind of have to give us a good product, especially if they want their network to be selling.
Yeah.
Because the Chamber, when does that actually happen?
24th, I think.
Oh, the same day that the network comes out?
Yeah. The network launches right after Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So they got to be planning something big to get that over, man.
Because, they want people to drop 60 up front, and if people ain't happy with the product, what's going to make them, drop it up front?
I mean, it almost seems like the only way that they can really make this work is if fucking uh, Daniel Bryan wins the chamber.
That's what I'm saying.
Because, like, as much as they don't want to admit it, the target audience of the network is the internet fans. Because the fans that always buy their shit are always gonna buy their shit. But who are the people that always like illegally stream the pay-per-views and deal with shitty quality because either they don't want to support WWE or they don't want to pay $60 a month for a pay-per-view? You know, the internet fans do that.
Right.
So basically what the network is doing is like saying, oh, hey, just $10 a month, you get HD pay-per-views as well as all of the old shit that you internet fucks like to watch. That's who else really wants that other than people that want to save on the pay-per-views who are still casual fans.
Right.
Hardcore wrestling fans, aka internet fans, because the two terms are kind of interchangeable nowadays.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's almost like the network is targeted towards the internet wrestling fans.
Yeah, which fucking WWE seems to hate so much, yet they're going to depend for this network to work out. Because, like, if you get all those subscribers that normally buy pay-per-views subscribing to the network, I mean, the only way that I see it is that them losing money because now the same amount of people are buying their cheap network that bought their expensive pay-per-views. So now it's like they're losing money. So in order to get in some new potential, buyers, it's the hardcore wrestling fans, the internet fans, the fans that want to see all the old shit and not have to pay an arm and a leg for the new shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's us. That's you. That's me. That's basically everybody that bitches about WWE and they're like, man, I am not wasting $55 on this pay-per-view. But I will gladly give you $10.
Right.
And,
I'm wondering how much of the people that fill the seats at the events actually will get the network. Like if, the little Jimmy's mom is going to buy it for his birthday or, that type of stuff.
Think about it this way. If a mom is cool enough to take her little son to see an expensive-ass wrestling show,
yeah,
that mother is going to fucking buy the WWE Network,
Right.
There's no way that she's not. If she's that supportive of her son and his wrestling fucking addiction, that she will take him to this fucking expensive show, deal with all the bullshit that goes along with taking somebody. She's going to spend $10 a month for her kid to be entertained. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like, even my mom would have bought me that if I was still a kid.
Right.
And she barely ever spent money on me, period.
That's that good report card gift.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, like, the way they see it, like, even if it's the kind of parent that doesn't like to waste money, like, they're like, well, I could either get you this $60 game that'll last you a week, or I could get you this $60 WWE Network subscription that'll last you at least 6 months.
Yeah, that's the better payoff, because they're not paying, even if they used to pay $60 for each pay-per-view, they would be saving a lot of money. So
there's no doubt on my mind that the network will at least attract the same people that always purchase WWE shit. Always.
So this network is just as important to WWE as their success in the future going on. They need this to succeed.
Yeah. And the best way for it to succeed is by winning over the people that don't give them money all the time, aka the internet fans that they hate so fucking much.
Right.
They hate the internet fans not because they like the guys like CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, even though that's part of it. They hate the internet fans because we don't give them money. Like, maybe we'll buy a shirt or two. They probably think that most of the CM Punk fucking sales are because of internet fans.
Look,
but if that were true, then maybe they'd pay more attention to us.
Them damn internet fans using promo codes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, apparently, and this is what I heard. Again, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently, during this week's Raw, they were expecting CM Punk chants, but they didn't expect it to be quite as bad because it wasn't a crowd, that has been known to be full of internet fans.
Right.
AKA, the only people that give a fuck about Punk are internet fans. That's the way I look at it. Like, I just get offended personally because they're saying this stupid shit. Because it's like, what? You act like the people that are in the building didn't buy a ticket.
Right, or they don't.
Yeah.
They insult their intelligence by thinking, oh, they're not smart enough to do that. Like, Randy Orton came out, they were chanting CM Punk as soon as the show started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
It's just like, everybody in the building has given you money. Everybody, because they bought the ticket.
Right.
So, if you are saying, like, for example, you go to Chicago, and you're saying, oh, this crowd doesn't matter because it's full of internet fans. What kind of fucking idiot are you?
Right.
This whole crowd matters because they are in there, they bought a ticket, they paid the outlandish prices that you want for it.
And saying they don't matter.
Yeah, they're the same kind of fans as your other casual fans. So why do they matter less? I could see if it's people like you and me, because, I haven't spent money on a wrestling pay-per-view since WrestleMania 21.
I don't remember when I bought one. I'm not lying.
Actually, I think I bought 22 as well, and it wasn't me. It was my dad, because back then we kind of bonded over wrestling. So he didn't buy pay-per-views throughout the year. He would buy maybe one or two. Mm-hmm. And the only ones I can remember offhand that we bought were SummerSlam 2004. Yeah, where Randy Orton beat Chris Benoit for the title.
Right.
Or my mistake. Randy Orton found the World Heavyweight Championship lying. So we bought that, and that was pretty bad for me because I had to watch my favorite wrestler at the time lose to a guy that I've hated up until that point, and past that point. And then we bought WrestleMania 21, I believe. Yeah, because we saw John Cena win for the first time. And then we saw 22, which I think was the first appearance of the Money in the Bank ladder match. Then other than that, I think we bought one of TNA's Slammiversaries. The one where Tyson Tomko jumped off of the fucking Titantron and landed on a bunch of boxes. But yeah, I could see if they think you and I are worthless because we don't buy anything right now, at least.
Right.
If I had money, sure, I'd probably be buying a shit ton of merchandise because I have the money for it. But it's whatever. But when you basically present to us, you're like, here's all of our archives. Go for it. Now they're all in glorious HD. You can watch whatever pay-per-view you want from WWE. Fucking, you can watch the entirety of the Attitude Era. You got all of WCW, even the weird shit that happened in 2001.
ECW.
Yeah, you got all of ECW, you fucking internet wrestling fucks. I know you love ECW. That's what they're saying. That should literally be their pitch. That's their sales pitch. If they were to sit me down in the room without me knowing about the network, and they Vince McMahon himself personally looked at me and he's like, listen to me, you son of a bitch. Do you want to watch in glorious HD all of that fucked up stupid ass ECW shit that I went into the ground? I know you fucking like that worthless garbage ass shit. Do you want to see that for $10 a month and you get to watch all of that as much as you want? Get to see people rolling around in thumbtacks and barbed wire and missing thumbs and shit. And I would be like, and then he'd be like, and then on top of that, you get to have WrestleMania and every single upcoming pay-per-view for $10. That's it, just $10. Would you finally give me your money, you worthless piece of shit? And I would be like, yes, sir. Yes, I will give you my money for all of that. That sounds like a great idea.
That probably
And
would
then
have
he'd
been
be like, oh, okay, well, shit.
that
And then
probably
we'd be friends.
that probably would have been a pre-PG era pitch.
Yeah, that would have been one of the greatest Vince McMahon promos of all time. But yeah, like I've said, I know I've been kind of getting all animated this episode. We really haven't covered much of anything. But
Oh yeah. So I guess we've been talking about the Chamber for a while, right? But there is something else I want to bring up.
yeah,
Kind of segue. So we see how the real Americans are teased, being broken up, and you have Cesaro being a singles wrestler in the Chamber. Now you see how with the primetime players, Titus O'Neil,
O'Neil,
right? It's funny because when I look at him, he still looks like a babyface trying to transition into a heel.
Yeah,
Still, it's weird.
He doesn't have like it's weird because he's one of those few guys. He's a big, rough-looking black dude, but he is not intimidating. Like literally, I could see him on the street because his frown, his scowl, still looks jolly.
They got to give a motivational speech, or something to suit.
Like you can't make him a monster heel like with his new entrance music where it's like hip hop Zilla and shit.
Doom.
Right. Make him a cocky piece of shit heel. Like definitely not a cowardly heel. No way. You can't make a dude that big a cowardly heel. But basically, it seems like the only thing they believe is that if you are under 6 feet, 250 pounds, and you're a heel, then you're cowardly. If you're over 6 feet and around 250 pounds, then you're a monster. That really seems to be the only thing they've been doing. If you're small in a heel, you cheat to win. If you're big in a heel, you beat the fuck out of people way too much.
I kind of wonder if this actually would lead to something with his singles career, because they look like for the sake of stripping the tag team division to shreds, they might actually be trying to push him into something bigger. But we have to see because he could be beating up mid cards every week for all we know.
Yeah. I mean, like the primetime players were good. They were entertaining. Like they had millions of dollars. Like that was awesome. Mm-hmm. I loved that. Like personally, I loved that shit.
Right.
And then they get rid of it, and for a fact that Darren Young isn't going to be the one coming out on top in this feud.
Right. Yeah. They
make
him look too nice. Like he was like, "How could you, Titus?" Type of thing.
I mean, there's definitely that, but he's not the guy that looks like Adonis,
Right.
Like, basically, all I really see, Christopher Titus. That's the wrong guy. It's the wrong guy.
Christopher Titus.
I love Christopher Titus, though. The thing that I see Titus O'Neil, and by the way, I keep wanting to call him Titus O'Neil because of Final Fantasy X.
Right.
But I see Titus O'Neil as being another Chris Masters.
Oh, you mean he's gonna come back looking really thin? Like what happened to you?
Oh no. I mean, like he's a big dude, but that's all he is. By himself right now. Like a heel Titus O'Neil is not going to do much for me yet. Like this is all speculation. I might have a completely different view next time I see him, but. As far as I can tell now, he's not going to be anything super special unless you change him up. Like he can't be the monster heel. Like he can't be. I don't buy him as a monster. Yeah, he's big, he's tough. He looks like he could break me in half, but he doesn't really look like a monster to me.
It's like one of those football players you see in a cartoon or something.
Yeah, literally his gimmick in Primetime Players was perfect for him.
Yeah,
absolutely perfect. They were jockey dudes, even for example, when they first debuted, they were heels.
Right.
Those two guys as heels, that's the perfect kind of heel. Like they're like kind of assholes, but they're really jockey, kind of like bullies, but not to the extent of Ryback, just, the kind of guys that would put down, like, how you looked and then, like, think that it was a much bigger burn than it really was. Then they walk away going, oh, those kind of people. Not the kind of guy that's going to murder your father like they're trying to pass Titus O'Neil off of right now.
Right, he's still smiling the same and everything.
Yeah, he's still got that smile, that $1 million baby face smile. Perfectly white teeth that contract with his black body to just like blind your shit. Like you look at him smile, you're like, oh my god, my eyes.
Right. What if they still want to use the millions of dollars gimmick, but like he said, that's him saying he want to be in the main event. Like Brodus Clay. Like Brodus Clay. I'm the main event.
Oh jeez. Brodus Clay. Yet another wasted, pointless heel turn.
That's gonna be the scary thing if Titus ends up the same way.
I mean, the thing about Titus is that he does have a good look. And since he's a big muscular guy, and Vince McMahon gets boners off of that, he's gonna have way more chances than a guy like fucking Brodus Clay would get. Actually, that kind of reminds me another thing we were going to talk about. Naomi.
Oh yeah.
Versus Oksana.
Oh man.
Oksana hit like this devastating knee drop and like fucked up Naomi's eye. And good. Because I really don't like Naomi. Literally,
is she too ginky or happy?
No. No, it has nothing to do with her personality, not at all. Because I liked, the Funkadactyls for what they were, but basically, before I get into my own personal bias, when you have basically what amounts to a tag team divas, a divas tag team, and the Funkadactyls, and one of them gets a title shot while still being a part of that team. Like, I get it. There's no tag team divas titles, and if there was, they wouldn't be doing anything.
Like TNA did.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. But it's kind of subjective. My problem with her, and literally, this is the reason why I hate her so much. Her finisher.
Oh.
Hate it. It's a clever name, definitely clever. Like right. I hated it, but then when I heard the name, I'm like, oh, that's cute. But I still hate it. The rear view, really, you're gonna make me believe that this bitch can knock somebody out by jumping and hitting her opponent in the face with her ass? That's her finishing move. Well, for one, hold on, what?
If you want to take Street Fighter, I know it's a game, but Mika, she used moves with her ass and can knock people out.
Yeah, but I mean, Mika's also Japanese, I think.
Okay.
But my point with and that matters because I'm about to tell you, Naomi is black.
They have to what to name the rear view.
No. She's black, right? She's got the badonkadonk.
Right.
If there's anything on her body that wouldn't hurt, if she hit you with it, it would be her ass. Her ass has got so much padding that there's no way that shit would knock you out.
I guess twist your neck or something, hurt your neck or some shit. Oh, 3 count.
I could see if she laid a fart at the same time doing it, and the fart was just so intense that you passed out.
Damn, sleeper hole.
But the fact that somebody has to be pinned after taking an ass to the face like that, it's just it rubs me the wrong way.
Would it be weird to see if she just did a move that had nothing to do with her ass? She does some type of suplex or slam.
To be honest, a lot of the female, the members of the female division, their finishers have been pretty lackluster. Most of the time, the thing that comes to mind immediately is Layla and the layout, which is literally just a fucking neck breaker. It's just a neck breaker. It's like, what are you from 1980?
layout.
Are you Jake the Snake? Your finisher is a DDT. You're the very first bitch to use a neck breaker. That's why it's the finishing move.
It's kind of switching gears, but it's still diva related, women related. What do you think about eat defeat? Like, that's actually a clever.
It's clever. It's basically a jawbreaker with somebody's foot instead, and at least it requires some sort of athletic ability because she's got to get her foot up to your jaw, and then she uses, a neck breaker like it. So it's different than a fucking neck breaker, which everyone uses.
Because it's classified as a finisher, kind of like if Dolph Ziggler uses the Famouser, it doesn't do the same effect as Billy Gunn.
Yeah. Like it's funny because now that Billy Gunn and Dolph Ziggler have been on the same shows recently, I'm expecting that to happen. At some point, Ziggler hits the Famouser and somebody kicks out, and it's not a big deal. But like Billy Gunn hits the Famouser later in the show, and it's like, he's out forever. He will never wake up. You can count to 100. He's in my fave 5.
Then Dolph Ziggler comes to the ring like Miz did.
It's like, this is bullshit. Why is Triple H making his Famouser more powerful than mine? Like it's an RPG or something?
Right. He's the S-Class Famouser.
Yeah. The Divas finishing moves, they've been pretty lackluster. As far as ones that I liked, I liked the Glam Slam. I thought that was pretty cool. As far as the Diva finisher goes, obviously the Sharpshooter, that's a classic. You can't go wrong with that.
Right, it's a safe choice.
And I kind of like that AJ's finisher, the Black Widow. Like that's what is it, an octopus stretch? I think
that takes some athleticism, just being able to run and twirl your entire body over the person.
Like that. That's cool and requires some kind of technical ability to pull off. And I'm not saying a neck breaker doesn't require technical ability. If you do a neck breaker wrong, you can really fuck up somebody's, neck, especially the kind of neck breaker Layla used, a sit-out neck breaker instead of a fall-out one. But still, it's just a neck breaker,
Diva botches are dangerous.
Oh my God, diva botches.
Like knees to the face and go up.
Knees to the face. I don't know if Oksana has a finisher yet, but that should be it.
Right. They make it canon. Like, she gives the opponent hope that they get their comeback moves, and then she, like, drops down. Like they try to do the sunset flip or whatever, and then she just does the knee to the face and go for a roll-up.
Yep. Yeah. The Divas division isn't special. That's basically what it comes down to. Like, it hasn't been special since the days of Lita versus Trish Stratus, and that's pretty much just how it is. And I actually thought about this earlier, and it just reminded me. WWE keep hiring models to be their women's wrestlers.
Summer Rae, is she a model?
I don't know. Probably, she's hot.
Right.
But like, what I'm wondering, like, it made sense back then. But nowadays, in the PG era, where they can't take off all their clothes,
or get in an issue of Playboy or something.
Yeah, I mean, why? Like, why are they still doing it like that? Like, I remember back in the days of Medusa, I think. I forget.
Medusa.
I don't think it's Medusa. Even though
Snake Lady.
I think she's also. I think she's just as old.
Yeah.
The female Hulk Hogan. I forget her name. Wendy Richter. Richter.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like, if you look at any of those old school chicks, Wendy Richter, Spider Lady wore a mask, but Mae Young was not a looker. Neither was Wendy Richter. They were both weird looking chicks. But they could wrestle, kinda. It was old school style, and if you didn't grow up with that style, I can't blame you for not liking that style. But they could wrestle that style, so they were good at what they did. Nowadays, it's like they keep hiring these models who are going to break someone's neck from doing a leg drop, and back in the day during the Attitude Era, and through the Ruthless Aggression era, at least you could put those motherfuckers in like bra and panties matches, or mud fight matches, or evening gown matches, or please just take off your clothes for us matches.
They had to sell them that way, but now they can't get away with that with this
Yeah,
era. So it kind of it leaves them at a crossroads now.
Right. Like now they can't do that, so what do they keep doing that for?
Yeah. And I don't know why they don't actually just take time to train them all. You know,
I mean, they do. It's just not on their priorities because, you know, they don't care about the Divas matches. And that's clear. Like, how many Divas matches have gone over 5 minutes recently?
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. After I took a look at Joshi, Japanese women's wrestling, that kind of set my standard of what. Yeah. I mean, they don't have to be all extremely brutal, but they should at least be technical as much as the guys are. You know, they shouldn't be like, I'm gonna do the cutest scoop slam in the world, and you know, be all careful about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's funny because the very first Japanese match I ever watched was a Kana match.
Yeah, Kana, she's amazing.
Yeah, and it was a women's match, and I'm sitting there like, oh, she's kicking the fuck out of this bitch.
Right.
Like, really, for real. She's just laying it. Like, and the other girl, she's selling it like she's really getting hit. Like, she's not Dolph Ziggling it or anything. She's just like, it's like, oh, fuck, I got hit in the head. That sucked.
Well, yeah, like, in Japan, like, the difference with their style is they actually use lots of kicks. So, if you wrestle in Japan, you have to deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
And they kick the crap out of you.
Wrestling. Yeah, fucking kicking. Like, and the only bumps I really saw in that match were just them both German suplexing the fuck out of each other.
And then they get back up like...
Yeah, it's like, oh, whatever.
Like, this one girl, Shirley, one of her finishers is a roundhouse kick. Where if she does that shit, you knocked out. Oh, man.
Yeah. But, like, the benefit of watching a Japanese women's match is that at the end of the day, they're still Japanese. So that's always good for me because I got that yellow fever.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah. So what haven't we covered? I know most of this has been me ranting.
We covered all our main stuff. We already talked about Bryan over Orton. Well, we talked about all the major WWE stuff, but what about the Investor?
Oh yeah, MVP, or they might have to change his name to VIP because, you know, it's WWE, but...
Well, I think he actually had ownership over his name, so that's why he was able to come out with the pin. Well, yeah, from what I saw on the wrestling dirt sheets and news sites, they say he can still use MVP.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows? I mean, I guess it was cool. I know where it's... Well, I can't say I know where it's going, but I don't think it's going to matter. And spoilers, by the way, I'm about to give you guys a spoiler. Apparently, MVP and the Wolves, their first matches, they lose. Yay! So immediately they're in the company and they're immediately losing. And whether or not it's a screw job, it doesn't matter. Like, we were kind of hoping that the new investor with the ability to fire people would mean that there wouldn't be as many screw jobs. But now it's like, well, that's cool. We're just going to have the Wolves lose to the Bromans, and MVP's going to lose to whoever because of fucking Austin Aries. I guess he heel turned again.
I hope it's not going to be a thing about I'm putting my power on the line and he just becomes a normal talent. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, eventually that's going to happen because he is a normal talent, and eventually he's just going to want to be a wrestler.
They have him fighting right away, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's just a play on his character from WWE. He always been dealing with the money and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like how he got an expensive contract, kayfabe-wise, with Teddy Long. Remember that on SmackDown when Teddy Long gave MVP like a huge contract?
I don't know. You got to remember, I stopped watching after Benoit died.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There was a big gap there, and I don't really like hearing about the years between like '07 and like 2010, because like those are like the new dark ages to me.
Yeah.
So I don't really know too much about the undercard back in those days.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, well, Impact was actually live this past week for a change, and Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah. Fucking TNA's TN. Yes.
Right. Samoa Joe actually is getting a title shot.
Yep. Because he pinned the champion in a tag team match. At
Right.
least they're being consistent with that. Like, where's Kofi's title shot? Damn it.
Right. Oh, you weren't supposed to win. And that'd be
Randy Orton is embarrassed.
right.
He's Kofi Kingston. He's not my mom.
Kofi will be the dude who says, when do I get my opportunity? We'll give it to you one day. And, like, they'll just keep pushing that crap, until he comes out on TV and just breaks kayfabe. Like, he's, like, the nicest looking dude, but then he just flips shit and start cursing.
He is. Like, he's a big-time company dude, man. I'm surprised they haven't given him at least a thank you title shot,
Right.
Like, those are the only reasons that Kane got his world title run. It wasn't because they saw Kane as a draw, like all the other champions. It was because he was a company guy. He's been working there and like taking all the bullshit that they wanted for years. So,
right.
Eventually, you got to believe they might give that to Kofi. Like,
he'll
shit.
be like, I do as much good stuff as Cena does, and I'm not getting a title shot.
Right.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's funny. We haven't talked about CM Punk that much. I guess it's because there hasn't really been, like, there hasn't been any news regarding
Well,
it.
I did hear something funny about, I guess these are two things I can mention about CM Punk related, but WWE, I guess they had a writer actually put a Ring of Honor dedication article on WWE's website. I wonder why they suddenly did that, considering, they make Ring of Honor talent act like they're brand new when they come to WWE. And it was funny because they really didn't try to mention Punk in that article, but they did manage to leave a picture of Punk in with Colt Cabana.
It's like, here is Colt Cabana with his mannequin.
Right.
Like, they're going to do the same thing to CM Punk that they did with Chris Benoit, even though he didn't kill anybody yet.
Right. And, but yeah, the second thing was, I guess I've been hearing he might consider MMA.
Yeah, I think that's weird. You take a guy, well, I guess his schedule wouldn't be as bad because you don't work every single day, every single week in MMA. You like do 2-3 matches a year. So, I mean, I could kind of see that as like kind of his retirement plan. Like he does MMA every once in a while, does his training because he's never going to stop working out. He's
So,
and try his hand at MMA. Like, I mean, I'll probably watch his matches. Like he's my favorite wrestler. So all the other wrestlers that went to MMA weren't my favorite, so I had no reason to want to watch them.
that'd actually be pretty cool if he did all his signature stuff in MMA. Right, and he gets to actually apply it for real.
Yeah, I mean, like, he does that high roundhouse kick, so if he could ever actually get that might be good.
Yeah, I mean, certain wrestlers have good cross ability between mixed martial arts and wrestling. Like,
if Punk is in MMA for a couple of years, he'll come back, and then he'll win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
a
plan.
main event at WrestleMania.
Hey, I should win the Royal Rumble so I can main event WrestleMania.
Right.
What else did I want to say? It's still kind of relevant. They had, the guy that played the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he issued a challenge to Punk too. I guess it was just like a friendly challenge because Jason David Frank did a little bit of MMA himself.
Huh. That'd be weird. That'd be like my past versus fucking future, dude. Like, wow. CM Punk my current favorite fake fighter versus fucking Tommy from the Power Rangers, my first favorite fake fighter. Like, holy, and they're doing it in a real fight.
In a real fighter environment, in a cage.
Oh man, that'd be something else. I'd want to see that. I would. I don't
Yeah.
really like MMA. Like, I'll have that be known right now, but I'd watch that. I'd definitely watch that.
Entertaining, yeah. Yeah, but Punk we'll still hear about him every once in a while.
I just want him to fucking come back. I want to hear something. Like, for example, this past Raw, after fucking Daniel Bryan won, and he was getting beat down by Orton and Kane. Like, I don't know about you, but the whole time I'm sitting there like, come on, Punk. This is going to be it. He's going to come out.
I was thinking about that possibility too.
Yeah, but it didn't happen, and I was like, aw.
I kind of want him to do something like when they actually sneak into the arena, or they buy a ticket or something just to cause stuff. Like, wouldn't that be hype? Like, it's not even supposed to be in the script for that to happen, but Punk did buy a ticket, and now.
Well, I mean, he's still employed. He's still under contract.
I thought he was out of his contract.
Oh no. His contract expires in July.
Oh, that's right.
Which, by the way, happy fucking birthday to me, I guess.
Right, in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Damn, that sucks.
yeah, it's like, happy birthday, your favorite wrestler is no longer with us. But yeah, I want him to come back. Obviously, like I guess it's selfish as a fan, but when I want to see something on my TV, that's what I want to see. If he's doing it because he's hurt, I'm not going to be like, boo, Punk, you're not wrestling, fuck you. No, definitely not. But I want to see him on my TV because it's not the same without him.
Yeah, he's been in WWE for a minute too. Like,
Yeah,
he didn't just have a quick ECW run and disappear.
it's kind of hard to believe. Like, two people, this comes to mind. CM Punk has been with WWE longer than he was with Ring of Honor now.
Wow.
And the same thing with Kurt Angle in TNA. He's been in TNA longer than he's been in WWE. So, like, shit like that kind of makes you feel old.
Right. Because I saw Kurt Angle when he first showed up in TNA when he was saying, it's real. It's damn real.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's just going to be like another thing where he's there for a while and then comes back.
Uh-huh.
He didn't. And now he's killing himself.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm pretty exhausted. For this episode, I've been kind of putting a lot of energy into it. So,
me too.
Pretty sure that's it. Do we got anything else to cover of importance?
I'd say we covered all the major stuff.
Yeah, basically, the only thing left is TNA, and I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to care about them until they prove to me that I should care about them right now.
Yeah. Well, I'd say we might as well wrap it up.
Yeah. It was a good hour-long rant. It was probably my most heated episode, I guess you could say.
I think this one I was a lot more vocal, it seemed.
Yeah. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Alright, you know what? I never said if I had a women's wrestler I wanted to point out this week, so...
Oh, shit. You want to do the Diva of the Week?
Sure.
All right, let's hear it.
Because she's deadly, beautiful, I'm going to go with Kana from Japanese.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, Kana, if you haven't seen what she can do, look at some of her matches. And she looks good, too.
Her like... And it's funny, because I think she's even more attractive in her fucking Harley Quinn gimmick of recent. Because, like, I'm sitting there like, oh, man, she's giving me a weird boner right now.
Right. It works.
The only negative thing I have to say about Kana is really just completely pointless. Like, it's only a little nitpick. The fact that she doesn't actually wear shoes.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you noticed that, but it weirds me out a little.
Those kickboxing
She's got shin guards.
Shin guards, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
It's
but
kickboxing.
she's completely barefoot under that. It's so weird. But that's
Japanese wrestlers are legit with that type of stuff.
right. I mean, like, that's just a little nitpick, and it's not really a problem. It's just like I noticed that I'm like, she's wrestling with no shoes on. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, she's good overall.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's adorable too, man. Fucking, I watched the match, and at the end of the match, she had like a promo, and I couldn't understand a word she was saying, but her voice like was like, oh man, it wasn't high pitched and annoying. It was like perfectly, just womanly enough, and I was like, oh man, this chick has got it all.
She also models too.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, I kind of just know these things. Not like I'm really going into stuff that much.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
All right. Thank you for listening to MAWS Talks Wrestling. I have been your co-host, Lunakage.
And Glenburg.
And we will see you next week.
Peace, everyone. See you next time.